As you're already aware, Professor Tony Attwood is going to be leading a masterclass on the 8th of May in 2019 on CBT and Counselling with ASD clients. It's a masterclass which is accessible both directly in the room at King's College London, but it's also available through International Interactive Webcast as well. The reason why I'm wanting to tell you a bit more about this today is that a number of people have sort of come back to me and said, you know, I'm not terribly sure whether I should actually make this or whether I can actually make it on the day, or to be honest with you, I sort of know a bit about autism and I've got some ideas about how to adapt my therapy to it. Why should I actually bother to come along to this? So what I wanted to do was to take you through 5 key reasons why I think that, you know, this is the event to actually come to with regards to autism and therapy, and secondly why Tony Attwood is the person to basically learn alongside with in terms of doing that. So the first thing to say is that I think, without being controversial, I can describe this man as the acknowledged expert on ASD and talking therapies. He's written 15 books on ASD and Asperger's and autism. He's had a readership of over 1 million people worldwide. And his books have been translated into 28 different languages. I think you're going to be really hard pushed to find anybody that has written and been read about so extensively in so many countries across the world on this particular topic. So just in terms of, to be honest with you, his fame and acknowledgement from across the globe, this is the guy basically to come and work with, which is what you're obviously invited to do. The second reason is that although he's a UK clinical psychologist in origin, he has been at the other side of the world, most prominently in Australia, for a number of decades now. And although he does periodically come across to the UK, he is pretty spasmodic. He doesn't come that often. Usually comes probably about once a year, maybe twice. And just sort of knowing that he's here and being able to get involved in the things that he runs is not easy. So we're really proud of the fact that we've managed to grab him for this particular event on the 8th of May 2019, which, as I said, is available both in the room at King's College London and also via International Interactive Webcast. So basically it's a rare treat, it's a rare event to come and work directly with this particular man. Thirdly, I think that he's actually one of the few people in whatever field who communicates not just in an excellent manner in what he writes, but also in terms of the way he speaks. He's got a manner which I personally feel I could listen to all day, and there's not that many people who have got voices and also content which I think are likely to grab me for that length of time. So his manner is extremely easygoing, he's very humorous, he's highly informed, and can I just emphasize, incredibly practical. You know, so for that particular reason, I would be very surprised indeed if you didn't go away with at least, and I'm putting this figure very conservatively out of the air, at least a dozen actionable bullet points for things that you can actually incorporate into your practice, you know, the very next day after you finish working with him. So there's that side of it. I think fourthly, another element that sort of leads on from this, which needs to be emphasized, is that he really does, I think, have the most incredible empathy and understanding of people on the spectrum. You get a really strong sense of his ability to understand what the experiences of these particular folk And I think that in itself is unusual, but to combine it with a scientific background, which is of course what he does as a clinical psychologist, is extraordinarily rare. And I think probably one of the things that you're most likely to come away with, apart from obviously practical things that I've mentioned, is I think you're likely to come away with a really strong sense of how ASD clients think, how they feel, how they experience the world, and in a way which is not to view them as sort of understandable but different, but rather, to be honest with you, to have an understanding of them which is not just empathetic, but arguably that you can actually specifically see strengths and virtues in them which maybe had never crossed your mind before. And I think that if you are interested, for example, in using client strengths and resources in the work that you do, this is just an invaluable insight to actually have when you actually train. And finally, I've already mentioned about the fact that this is a man who doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk as well. And I think one of the key contributing factors to that is his own personal experience with regards to autism, in the sense that he is quite open about the fact that his son is autistic, and that his son has had a number of psychological difficulties, which he's quite open about and typically willing to share. And I think that for anyone who has had the experience, either themselves or within their own family, of particular psychological difficulties, always is able to speak with an authority and a practicality as well, which is often lacking in people who approach this purely from either a theoretical or a practice background. So I really hope you're going to join us. As I have said already, I think it's a really rare event. It would be crazy to actually miss him. You can join him either in the room at King's College London, or alternatively by International Interactive Webcast. How to do this? The booking is available on the Skills Development Service website, which is skillsdevelopment.co.uk. That's skillsdevelopment.co.uk, and if you just go to the Autism or ASD link that's there, it will take you through to the booking page, and you can read a bit more about what Tony is going to be doing, and also to book either, as I said, for an in-the-room place, or alternatively by interactive webcast. Look forward to seeing you there. Bye now.